Thank you. That was Stephen Nolan in Derry, Stoke, Londonderry, annoying the people and making them angry and making them shout. That's a song that we probably do not expect Daniel O'Donnell to cover in the near future. That's Sick Bag Willie, also known as a C6 Steve. That's a song called You Can't Teach an Old Dog New Tricks. It's good, that. Playing Again Sam. That's from his new album. That sounds good, actually. It's a bit noisy, but what can you say? The number to ring if you want to contact this programme. I'll be here until 12 o'clock unless I'm thrown out. There's always a possibility. 08459 555 678. The native may rise up and demand an end to it. 08459 555 678. That's the number to ring if you want to contact this programme. And many people do. I'm not well today. Anyway, I'm struggling on Good Friday. It is good. Yes, it'll good if I can make it to the end. I have this virus, you see, but enough about me. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk and the text messaging service is 81771. Here's a new thing. People write to me and send me all kinds of messages. A man wants me to make a best man speech. It's very difficult to do that. Ian says, I am hoping you can help me. I'm doing best man for a big fan of your show in the coming weeks. You may recall that he emails you intermittently. Gareth Reid, yes he does. Originally from outside Dromore near the Galbog Bar, we know it well, but now living in Aberdeen working as an engineer in the oil facility industry. Both he and I laugh on occasions at the antics of your show, particularly when Geordie, and as agricultural advice goes, we are both rural chaps ourselves with farming backgrounds and know exactly how dangerous this advice can be. I'm wondering, would you prepare a humorous note of congratulations that I can relay to the guests as part of my speech, particularly as he is such a big fan of yours? I would love to do that. I've never done a best man speech by proxy before. It's a new string to my bow. I'm ready for it. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. A little poetry, considering the fact that Stephen Nolan was up in Gerry Stoke Londonderry, whipping up the natives, trying to get some enthusiasm for the coming election, which I find incredibly boring. This is a poem called Vote for the Christmas Party. A cat was fearing electioneering, so he hid behind some motors. He looked so sly with slitted eye, looking out for undecided floaters. A frog named Ruth went to the booth. She planned to vote Sinn Féin, but a kick in the belly from Jerry Kelly made her change her mind again. Vote DUP, yelled Bug-Eyed Flea. They'll protect you from all harm. The Bug-Eyed Flea went home with glee, sucking blood from Nigel Dodd's arm. Vote UUP, yelled Dumblebee. Then it took a bit of rifting. The UUP will bend the knee and do all the heavy lifting. To all the floaters I plead, take heed, take heed. Now's the time to have your say. The choice is stark. Make your mark. When the chain is pulled, you'll be flushed away. Please leave the polling booth as you would wish to find it. And thank you for not smoking. Signed, the returning officer who's just returned.
Satisfaction. That us, you and me, are heading in the right direction. If I look close enough, there are tiny indications.
It's a band called, they stopped very quickly for me, Seven Summits, and that's a song called Sooner or Later. I'm joined now by my favourite Polish person, Evelyn O'Donnell. Not a very Polish surname, but you're married to a gentleman from Northern Ireland.
Yes, Gerry, good morning.
And the reason I've asked you to come in here today is because I wanted to find out how our Polish people and our Eastern European people will celebrate Easter, and why have you been abducted by the Irish department? Let me explain what happened. You were sitting downstairs waiting to be taken up to this programme. A man speaking Irish came down and said, "Hello, come with me." And you, knowing no better, went with him, and he brought you to the Irish department.
He was very handsome, Gerry.
Was he?
What could I do?
Don't like the sound of that. And then you eventually escaped from the Irish department by pretending to be a foreigner.
I'm glad to be here now, and
Good.
happy Easter.
Okay. Well, tell me this. How do Polish people celebrate Easter in any way different way to us?
In a completely different way, and it's the biggest celebration for us. And I always find it very amazing since I graduated, because when you are a child, you don't really, acknowledge things like this. But this is the only time in a year when Christian traditions mix so nicely with Slavic mythology and all our pagan traditions and everything that comes from really, really ancient times when, there was no religion in Slavic countries. And I always find it very amazing that it can sort of coexist together without a clash. And first thing that we do that is really important, on the first day of summer, when the summertime begins in March, we have to get rid of winter. So what we do in schools or in houses, we make an ugly doll of like pieces of paper or old clothes, and the uglier the better. It has to look really...
A May McFetridge doll, that kind of doll.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yes.
Yeah.
And then you have to find the nearest lake or river and drown the thing. But before you drown it, you have to actually burn it. So we did it this year with my kids from Polish school, and we were walking through Stratfoil with 3 massive dolls. You put them on a wooden stick, and the size of a person. You put them up, and they're very colorful, and we were walking through Stratfoil, and everyone was just looking at us like at aliens.
Stratfoil, of course, you live in Derry. Stratfoil is
Yes.
an area of Derry. But you'll be familiar with Lundy, of course, the burning of Lundy.
Yes, that kind of thing, yeah.
Almost the same thing.
Almost the same thing, so it always it mixes in every culture. But anyway, we burned the wee thing, and then whenever you put it into the river or lake, when it's swimming tiny wee bit, that's a good sign. If the water actually takes it, that means that we're gonna face very long and beautiful summer. If the thing drowns straight away, that's not good. That means winter will be
Is that not
bad.
linked to the witchcraft beliefs? What they used to do is if the witch sank, it meant she was
Exactly.
innocent, and if she floated, it meant she was guilty. Wasn't that it?
Yes, they do the same in Russia, in Ukraine, in Lithuania. It's a very, very old pagan tradition.
Yeah.
And it's still, existing, and people love it, especially children love it, but it's done everywhere, On that day, you can actually see the flames, from windows. If you live in apartments in Poland, you can see that in every little pond and river. Children and adults do that. And you can't turn your head whenever you leave the place. You can't turn your head and look at the thing, because that means that winter will be back. And you see, it's people don't understand here what's the weather like in Poland. I always try to say that the weather in Poland, the easiest way to describe it is like in New York. We have very, very strong, long winter with loads of snow and very hot summer. So, you can't blame us that we want to get rid of winter. We have enough of the -20 and snow up to your knees. And
Well, you must have
that
felt
kind
right
of-
at home here this year, because we've had a winter for about 7 or 8 months, haven't we?
Well, I think I told you before, I don't understand this moaning about snow. I love snow. I don't find anything bad about it. The only thing is that you can't get to work here, but...
What's wrong with that?
I was enjoying myself by the fire at home. I can't complain.
Now, Poland's mainly a Catholic country, full of Fenians, I think
Yes.
the expression is.
Full of Fenians. 99% of Fenians.
And of course, we know what happened to the majority of the Jewish population.
We know
so it's
that,
mainly
yes.
a Catholic country now. So
Yeah.
Very religious, but as you say, wrapped right up with mythological beliefs, pagan beliefs.
Yes, and
I
I'm
think
not-
that's great.
Well, I think
That's
it's
been battered out of us here,
Yeah, well, we didn't let it, because you see, there is this kind of like a Slavic spirit. It's hard to explain. We're very romantic people, and we're very much into our traditions, and we don't let them disappear. And it's pumped into you from your parents from early days. Like, for example, I always knew that there's no way we can have Easter Monday without Śmigus Dingus. This is another like kind of
What, Śmigus Dingus?
Śmigus Dingus.
Right.
Sure. Yes.
I'm not
I have to teach
familiar
you
with
Polish
that.
a bit, And the
Śmigus
time.
Dingus, what is Śmigus Dingus?
Śmigus Dingus is my favorite tradition, and well, actually, it's my husband's favorite now, because this is only for male, and you do it to women, and I think you're gonna love it, Gerry, and you can do it to your girls at home if you want.
Śmigus
What,
Dingus.
what you
I
do?
don't like the sound of it.
Well, you wake up on Monday morning, on Easter Monday. And the day before, whenever your wife or your daughters don't look, you go to the forest and you bring twigs of juniper.
Yeah.
If you can find it. If not, any other like young trees, young kind of twigs that are appearing in spring, anything green. And the longer the better. You hide them under the bed before you go to bed. And then you wake up, you put your alarm clock for 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You have to
Yes.
make sure you do that.
Right.
And then women that are familiar with the tradition, they know there's no pajamas on that day. They have to wear like a gown to sleep because it's very important to have access to your legs.
I've always believed that, yes.
So basically, you take your twigs from under the bed, you lift the duvet up, and you have to beat a bit of the legs of your wife.
So I do that every
whoever.
weekend, for God's sake.
And this is like a cleanse tradition. You get rid of all badness that was in winter in her, all bad moods, all dirt and everything. It comes from, I think it comes from tradition of using saunas as well, because we still do it. It's a big thing in Poland going to sauna. But you do that to your girls,
Well,
and they have to scream.
I think maybe perhaps you need to be very careful about it. Right?
You have
in
to
Northern Ireland,
be.
people to be beating their wives with
But
sticks.
you do it gently, and then she has to get up actually and be very grateful for what you've done to her, and boil you an egg and give you an egg and say thank you. And then the tradition is done.
Right. Well, tell me now, what about the Polish community and the Eastern European community in general with this economic slump? How are they getting on in Northern Ireland? Are people going home? Are they staying here? Are they finding it difficult?
Well, we got a few pieces of bad news before Easter. First of all, that people that have no qualifications, no university qualifications, and not a very good English. The only place really in Derry where they work is foil meats factory or little farms or places like this.
Yeah.
And you're probably aware that a pig plant of foil meats is closing down, which is going to affect about at least I think 35 employees, and most of the employees are parents of my Polish pupils in Oliver Plunkett.
You teach children?
Yeah, and I teach in Oliver Plunkett in Stratfoil, and last week I met loads of parents in despair. There will be situations when two parents at home are losing jobs at the same time.
What about Belfast? There's a bigger community of Polish people in Belfast. How are they faring any better?
We had a meeting recently, and I'm very friendly with the lady that runs, Mrs. Dąbrowska, that runs Polish school in Belfast, and we have regular meetings, and they doing very, very well, and the school here is bigger, but also the same problems. People who came here only to save money and come back and maybe, make their life better in Poland. This is not the scenario anymore. It's very, very hard to get a good, steady job. Even for me as a teacher, with the budget cuts, I got a bad news last week as well, that due to budget cuts, some schools won't be able to afford my service. And, we're going to face the situation when you have 14, 15 children in a school and they're going to be left without TEFL support.
Yeah,
so
teaching English is a foreign language.
Yeah, and that there is still Polish children coming to the country. I have a few new Polish children coming from September with no English, and without somebody like me helping them maybe for first year or two, they completely lost.
Well, I hope that Polish people and indeed Latvian people and all other nationalities in Eastern Europe, I hope they continue to come, because I have to say you're all lovely people.
Thank you very much.
You're all lovely people.
If only everyone was like you, Gerry.
Well, I think they should be. You're going to play a little Polish music. Tell me what you're going to.
Well, I'm gonna dedicate my favorite song. I love the song and I love Kaja. Kaja made this CD with Bregovic, and this is all Slavic rhythms and Slavic songs that they put together, and this is beautiful because this is pop combined with folk.
And this is Kaja and
Bregovic. Goran Bregovic is extremely famous Slavic composer and singer, and they made this CD, I think it's 2003, and I love it. I just sing it all the time and love it. And I think this song that I want to dedicate, Ona Tonie Ptak, is just very romantic and it's suitable for Easter time.
The last time you were here, you sang a little carol.
A little carol,
Do you know any Easter songs?
We don't really have Easter songs. Well, the only ones we have, we sing in the church, and they're very, very sad and depressing. And if I sing one, my mom would burst out crying. They're very sad because, the big celebrations today are, of the Christ dying on the cross. You don't want me to sing anything like it. But,
we have enough of that.
We have enough of that, but,
So what's this one called?
The song is called Ona Tonie Ptak, She's Not a Bird. And it's my favorite. I think it's about me anyway.
Evelina, thank you. Thank you for coming, and you're lovely.
Happy Easter to you.
Happy
and all your
Easter.
family and all lovely BBC people, and the man that kidnapped me downstairs as well.
You want to see him again?
I might.
Kolorowej sukieneczce krząta się
Mógłbyś przysiąc, że widziałeś wczoraj skrzydła jej, jak je chowała pod sukienką, lecz ona to nie tak. Czy nie widzi? To nie jest tak. Ona to nie tak. To nie jest tak. Czy nie widzi? Kocham ciebie, mówi każdy mały ruch. Lecz ty wśród kolorowych farb szukasz piór. Bo jesteś pewien, że wczoraj widziałeś skrzydeł cień. Dlatego klatkę zbudowałeś, lecz ona to nie tak. Czy nie widzisz? To nie jest tak. Ona to nie tak. To nie jest tak. Czy nie widzisz? Tego dnia, gdy ciemność skradnie serce ci, ona w oknie będzie śmiać się, lecz przez łzy. Rozpuści czarność włosów i zmieniona w królka skoczy, by za chwilę oknem tym powrócić tu, lecz jako rajski ptak, bo tak chciałem. Jako rajski ptak, rajski ptak, jako rajski ptak, bo tak chciałem.
This is not Polish, but none the better for that. It's a little mashup.
I'm a poor man son from across the railroad track. Only shirt I own is hanging on my back. But I'm the envy of every single guy, since I'm the apple of my girl's eye. When we go out stepping on the town for a while, my money's low and my suits are style. But it's alright if my clothes aren't new. Out of sight, because my heart is true. She says, baby, everything is alright. Uptight, out of sight, baby, everything is alright. Uptight, and clean out of sight. She's a pearl of a girl, I guess that's what you might say. I guess her folks brought her up that way. The right side of tracks, she was
That's Stevie Wonder, of course, and Rod Stewart, and that's a bit of a mashup. I'll play one after the news as well because I've got into the habit of doing that, and I think it's a good idea. And before that was a couple called Kaya and Bregdovic. I can't pronounce that properly, and I won't even try and pronounce what the title of the track was. It's beyond me entirely. Some messages from people outside. That's you, of course, the listeners. Morning, number 7. I don't understand what that means, but I'm almost afraid to think about it. I understand you're not wanting the fat boy at your home, but please explain why the redneck has never been in your house. That's from Jason. That's obviously referring to Mr. Coyle. Oh, no. He's often been down at my home, but I've just never let him in. Morning, Turkey Neck. I think that first CD could do with a good clean in your jumper. No, that was C6 Steve, Sick Bag Willie. That's the way he sounds. He sounds muffled and raspy. That's the way it is. It's called blues. It's called rock and roll. Hi, Gerry. When does the new foil footbridge open? We're up in Stoke City for a few days next week with our daughter and her partner. Happy trucker. Well, I don't know. They haven't told me. It's probably, I'd say, around about June. Somewhere around there. Gerry, could you please play Hope You Feel Good by Andrew Gold? I will if I can get my hands on it at some stage. Morning, Bulldog Head. As it is Good Friday, get some Randy Newman. Well, I didn't realise that Randy Newman was so closely associated with Good Friday. I didn't realise that, but maybe perhaps it's a fault on my part. Hi, Snake Eyes. Right, okay, there's Turkey Neck, Snake Eyes, Bulldog Head. I think this should stop. Hi, Snake Eyes. Please play some Eric Bibb, please, for Big Smoo in Newton Ards. No person should vote in this country, then that would sort it out. Well, I've always maintained that. I have never voted in my life and I refuse to vote. I have never voted for any person because I don't trust any of them. I only ever voted once. I voted for the Good Friday Agreement in 1998 or whatever it was. I'd vote for the thing, but I'd never, ever vote for it. Listen to them. All you have to do is look at them. If they want votes, they should pay everybody £1,000. I'll go along with that. Even then, I wouldn't do it. Hi, I wonder if you could plug the reenactment of the Passion of Christ performed on Good Friday in St. Patrick's Kilray at 8 p.m. So that's, I was going to ask, is there any admission, but probably not good. Good morning, Mr. Anderson. Please help. A 10-month-old Yorkshire Terrier called Maisie, missing from Oxford Island, Lurgan, on Thursday, the 21st of April at 4:40 p.m. It was seen being picked up by a lady in a black car at 5 p.m. as it was on the middle of the road. So any young lady or old lady who picked up that dog thinking it was doing it a favour, you were stealing it. Give us a ring here. We've got the numbers. Back after the news.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock with Sabrina Sweeney. More than 300 people have been caught up in violence in the centre of Bristol overnight. Police raided a property in the Stokes Croft area and found a number of petrol bombs. Protesters then took to the street, smashed windows and blocked a main road. Assistant Chief Constable Rod Hanson of Avon and Somerset Police says the problems began yesterday evening.
We recovered a supply of petrol and pre-prepared petrol bombs. We made 4 arrests and we left the property. Anticipating that the situation might escalate, we did call in some additional resources from 3 neighbouring forces, and very soon there was a group of approximately 300 people who started erecting barricades in the road, lighting fires in bins and throwing missiles at police officers, and at about 2:30 this morning they managed to cause significant damage.
There's a security alert in Sion Mills. The police are investigating a report of a suspicious device at Lismore Park. The PSNI say cordons are in place. Scotland's top police officer says he's putting 100 extra police officers on the streets of Glasgow ahead of this weekend's Old Firm game between Rangers and Celtic. The Chief Constable of Strathclyde Police, Stephen House, said the combination of alcohol, sun and a bank holiday could make the clash the perfect storm. He was speaking after the Celtic manager and 2 high-profile fans were sent parcel bombs in the post. The Data Protection Commissioner in the Republic has called on Apple to explain why the iPhone has a feature that logs the movements of its owner. Billy Hawke said buyers should have been made aware of the feature. Security experts have discovered that the phone saves location data to a secret file, which is then transferred to the user's computer when the 2 devices are synchronised. Sport now, here's Joel Taggart.
Well, Gareth Maben is still firmly in contention at golf's China Open. The Ballyclare man has moved on to 9 under par after 12 holes of his second round, just 3 shots behind the leaders. Michael Hoey is 3 shots further back. Linfield will be without suspended pair Jimmy Mulgrew and Stephen Douglas as they try to secure a 50th league title tomorrow against Cliftonville. One more win should be enough as the Blues have a 6-point lead over Crusaders and a vastly superior goal difference. And after securing his place in the top 16 of snooker's world rankings for next season, Antrim's Mark Allen will start his bid this afternoon to make it through to the quarter-finals of the World Championship. He takes on Barry Hawkins in the second round.
And now it's time for the weather forecast. Here's Jackie McCann.
Plenty of warm sunshine through the first half of the day, with temperatures lifting to 20 Celsius. Slightly fresher along the east coast thanks to the onshore breeze. A scattering of showers developing this afternoon, with western counties most prone, and there is the potential for some thundery downpours. The showers gradually fade away during the evening, with some patchy rain in the east overnight.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
In the docks area of North Belfast, the traffic lights are not working at the junction of Dargan Road and Duncrew Road, so approach these lights with caution. And in Coal Island this afternoon, the Parade of the Cross will be taking place from 2 until 4 p.m. It'll travel from St Mary's Church to St Joseph's along Brackaville Road, Barrack Street, Main Street, Lineside and Platters Hill. And finally, at the George Best Belfast City Airport, this morning's Flybe flight from Newcastle has been further delayed to 11:20. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
Thank you. Welcome back. William Crawley's presenting Talkback today. Morning, William. How you doing?
How are you doing, Gerry?
All
My
right.
first
Thanks.
time in the studio with you, actually, isn't it?
It's a momentous day.
It is a momentous day. Shall I go through this now? Is that what
Work
I'm supposed
away.
to do?
Work away. Do whatever you like.
I'll give
It's
you.
your baby.
We'll sing the phone number at the end, but we've a lot to talk about today. Some very serious topics on this Good Friday as well, because the talk this Good Friday in Scotland is of the crucifixion of Neil Lennon. And you've got some absolutely appalling graffiti and, of course, a lot of concerns about this weekend's game on Sunday. Does religion and sport always add up to hatred? That's the question we're asking today. And we also have big questions for parents. New generation of parents. Lots of parenting has changed. The average age of women have their first baby is now almost 30. 30. Whereas in 1930, just before you entered our fair world, it was 23, and 23% of mums back then were.
There was no need for that, by the way.
I'm warming you up.
That's all right.
Today, the number of working mothers, 68%. So parenting has changed. Is this the answer? Ban the television, dump the laptop, bin the junk food. Is the penny finally dropping that that's how you should parent a new generation of children? And Britain's future queen, who will be called Queen Catherine eventually, Kate, says she won't be obeying her husband in her wedding vows, just like Diana. Is that a bad omen? Are you superstitious?
Don't know about Catherine. I hope she doesn't follow Catherine of Russia.
Or Catherine of Aragon, for
Absolutely
that matter.
not. We don't need that.
Would it be a better marriage if she did obey her husband?
I don't think she should obey. I think she should just do what she's told.
Just do what she's told. She will have a husband who's king. So would it make sense to obey your husband? In fact, should all marriages have a kind of hierarchy to them? We'll be debating that today. And you can give us a call, of course, on our number. Shall we say it together?
08459 555 678.
Almost hypnotic. Thank you for that.
I think we did that beautifully. Thank you.
Let me show you what I'm made skin is like velvet, but here I sing from me, and you can hide from me, but I am right beside you in this life. Hear how she sings. Well, we all know that she's bright, but sometimes she just doesn't pay attention. The stuff you talked about last night, she looked like it's a subject you just mentioned. And she stops outside the station, and she ponders for a minute. There's a train that's leaving soon, she wonders if she should be in it. And decisions such as these happen slightly to the east of Louise. And she tells herself she's lonely, an isolated queen in a city castle. She was somebody's one and only, but somehow it just wasn't worth the hassle. But hey, relationships can wither, the least said the soonest mended. She wrote it in a letter, but she never got it sended. And love is like a breeze that passes somewhere to the east of Louise. And I think I'm falling for her. I lay my pearls of wisdom before her, but after 10 minutes they just bore her back to tears. While she struggles with her laptop, I make coffee and I offer my suggestions. She says she's lost 1,000 emails from potential lovers asking the same questions. And I tell her love's another virus, it can eat your heart alive. And she takes it off the desktop, but it stays there on the drive. The instructions are Chinese, and that's just too far to the east of Louise.
It's a very, very clever song by, oh my God, forgot his name, I'm terrible. How could I do that? Anthony Toner, I'm sorry about that. Sometimes you do that. That's a song called East of Louise. And before that, we had a kind of a mashup featuring the following artists. Let me just get this right, because it's important that I do get this right, because sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. Aha. Chantal Kraviazuk, I never get her name right, I'm sorry, I don't know. John Lennon, I didn't hear John Lennon in that, and I tried very hard, I didn't hear him. Robbie Williams and Dido. I've been asked to play another one. There's one, a mashup that I play that features Noel Gallagher singing Wonderwall with Travis and Christina Aguilera. And, well, okay, yes, I will play it again because I think it's brilliant. It's almost like a kind of a symphony. I know a lot of you don't like them, but I know an equal amount, if not more, if you do like them. And these are very, very unusual and very hard to get, almost impossible to get. And I'd like to thank the guy who sent me those, and I can't remember his name now, and I'm terrible. Here's a dog. Sorry, it's not a dog, it's a cat. His Nibs didn't come back for his dinner on Saturday the 16th of April. Most unlike him and hasn't been seen since. Any cat that doesn't come home for its dinner, you realise there's something seriously wrong. It did not come back to 20 Leven Park, Leven Park, Tullycarnet. He's mainly black with white paws. There's a photograph from here. He looks quite, well, evil, I suppose, is the word I'm looking for. He's mainly black with white paws, chin, patch on belly, and very distinct white stripe down his nose. And I'm looking at that. Very few of them have a stripe down their nose. Not quite 2 years old, chipped and neutered. Probably not too pleased about any of that. No collar, as he won't wear one. Everyone's frantic with worry out walking the streets at all hours. All his cat friends are turning up the house looking for him as well. Popular cat. Any information required, a number is here. So there we are. Look out for that. A distinctive-looking little cat, white paws, a white streak down its nose. Only 2 years old and a nice little thing by all accounts. Give us a ring here, 08459 555 678, if you can contribute to the mystery. A gentleman writes to me and he said, woke up this morning, said Brendan Houston, which is always the beginning of a song. No work today. I check Sky... Sorry, I'll try that again. Check Sky Sports. There's lots of live sport on today. Must do a bet, I thought. But guess what? All the bookies are closed. And to add insult to injury, traffic wardens are out in force, buzzing about like midges. What are they doing on a Good Friday? Don't they realise that the day was the day that our Lord died? They're giving people tickets. Have these people no sympathy? No sense of occasion? Let my people go. Let them park where they like on a Good Friday. Let them go to the bookies. What's wrong with these people?
You and me were like a hammer and nail. I guess we go together. One does the hurting and goes away, and one gets stuck there forever. You and me were like a bird and wire. You know I won't let you down. I'll be here waiting to hold you again when you're through flying around. I'm a window, you're a thief in the night. I'll let you in though, take anything you like. Turn out the light, lock the door, run tomorrow, but tonight you're gonna stay. I won't try to change you anymore. I wouldn't have you any other way. You can be my California, keep
the first time we met, you was at the mall with your friends. I was scared to approach you, but then you came closer, hoping you would give me a chance. Who would have ever knew that we would ever be more than friends? With railroad white, breaking all the rules. She like a song played again and again.
Remember all the things we wanted. Now all our memories, they're haunted. We were always meant to say goodbye. Even without this head higher, never would have worked out right yet. We were never meant for two or die.
But if you sing, Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 na. Sing, 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 baby girl, let's sing with me. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do unless you sing, 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 sing. Shawty got me singing.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
You just fade and the lights turn low. Just one more dance and then we're good to go. Waiting for someone, and that's me. Heartbeats racing at the speed of light. That don't mean it's gotta be tonight. Baby, 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 baby.
But if you sing, Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 na. Sing, 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 baby girl, let's sing with me. Come, baby girl, let's sing with me. Sing, 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 na 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 na, every day. Baby, there's something going on today, but I say nothing. I can be your melody, a girl that could write you a symphony, the one that could fill your fantasies. So come, baby girl, let's sing with me. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 na. Sing, 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 baby girl, let's sing with me.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do
unless you sing, 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 na 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 na, every day.
There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how.
Didn't come here to hurt you, now I can't
Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me.
take this road.
And after all, you're my wonder one.
Could love be better? Still wanna be with you.
Come, baby girl, let's sing with
I
me.
can't stop.
Sing, 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 na 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 na, every day.
I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do
Unless you sing, 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 sing.
I particularly like that one. I think it's a work of art featuring Travis, Ayaz, Kelly Clarkson of all people, Oasis, Christina Aguilera, and No Doubt. There we go. Excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. I've got a terrible bug all week. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I do know what's wrong with me, but I wish it would go away. It is Pecker Dunn's birthday today. He is 82. Oh, my God. I met Pecker Dunn. Oh, God. How refreshing to hear that Polish lady talk and sing. Isn't she lovely? How nice. Please wish her well from me. That's Cookstown listener. Yeah, they're lovely people, Polish people. I did a series one called on Radio Ulster a while back called Work, Work, Work. and myself and a young lady from England. We travelled all around Northern Ireland, talked to all kinds of people from Lithuania, Latvia, and Poland, and they were just so lovely, lovely people. I just couldn't believe it. Not that I didn't think they were, but I just didn't realize how lovely and how smart they are. Wonderful people, much better educated than we are. And the problem with Polish people in particular is that they've incredible difficulty with English language because it is so different from Polish. It's completely different, and I mean really, really almost impossible for Polish people to learn. And that's why sometimes Polish people have trouble with English language, and thereby people think that they're not as bright as they think they are. But it was an actual fact, the education system in Poland is much superior to the education system here. And that girl, I was talking to Evelyn, she teaches kids in Derry. She was teaching in university in Poland, you know. I sent you a message from the top of Slieve Donard. Have you ever been there? Yes, I have been to the top of Slieve Donard. I was once dropped there by a helicopter and made to eat a pizza. That's in the days when children in need was a thing that you did. Ask Gerry, is he going to the Road Bowls outside Keady this weekend? No, I've decided to pass on that. A gentleman called Victor says the Miami Show Band are having a concert in the old courthouse in Antrim tonight at 7:30. Does Gerry know about it? Because he said yesterday that nobody tells him anything. That's the European City of Culture. Nobody tells me anything about that. There is an event taking place for Action Cancer on Easter Monday from 6:30 in Fitzpatrick's Bar. Sorry, I can't talk today. In Fitzpatrick's Bar in Black Lion. Sponsored walk music, crack open mic, pub, games, horse racing. They might even name a horse after Gerry. No thanks. Already a horse has been named after Janet now. She doesn't like it. Anyway, Una Darby is going to sing now in 2 ticks as soon as we get organised. Let me just put this on first.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that was the wrong way. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was born on April 11, way back in 1954. History does record this was the slowest and most boring news day in the world. I came out at 7 pounds 6 ounces. My mother, father, doctor all agreed. When they cut the cord and put me in the cradle, there was nothing special about me. There's nothing special about me. Middle child in a great big family. I never had enough, still I never had it rough. There ain't nothing special about me. At 16 I worked in a factory, and here I am to this very day, folding clothes and packing them in boxes, hoping a promotion comes my way. It was there I met my darling Mary. She sews the buttons on the second floor. The moment that we met I knew we'd marry. There was nothing special about her. There's nothing special about me. A parasite sucking air for free. I've got no redeeming features, no exotic creatures. There ain't nothing special about me. Gave birth to our first child, said Michael, I think we'll call him Jim. We both knew what the other one was thinking. to my story, and to any one of you who can relate. Remember the graveyard's full of heroes, and your superstars are headed the same way. It's all about me, a lonely fart hanging in the breeze. I've never broken a world record or slept with Robert Redford. There ain't nothing special about me. There ain't nothing special about me.
Oh, that'll be the end of that then. That's Paddy Nash and the Happy Enchiladas. And joined by Una Derby. Thank you, ma. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank
and
you
that would be Oonagh.
Thank you for coming in. And also joined by Cormac O'Kane on pianos and bass guitar. And Gerry Thompson, is that it? Yep. On guitar. And Colin Henry on dobro. Well, yeah. Sorry about me, I can't talk today. Una, thank you for coming in. I got your album the other day, and Oonagh. Your name is O-O-N-A-G-H.
That's
Oonagh.
right, yeah.
I got your album. It's really, really good. Tell
Thank
me
you very
about
much.
it. Tell me about
Album's called Harmony Street, Gerry. Myself and Jared got together last year and decided to write a few wee songs, and got into Cormac's studio and put them together. Got involved, Gino Lapari, 4 Men and a Dog, and Jerry O'Connor produced the album for us. So the album basically is a woman telling her stories at the kitchen table, and we put them into song. They're very much songs written by a woman for a woman. It's about being a mom, being a wife, being a sister, being just stories.
You wrote them yourself?
We have 2 covers on it, and the rest I wrote myself, yeah.
Well, tell me a bit about yourself. I mean, who are you? Where do you live? What do you do?
Well, I'm Una Darby. I'm from Moira. I'm originally from Lurgan, and I'm a quantity surveyor and project.
I would have known to look at you at your quantity surveyor.
Would you? Got that builder's look going on. Yeah, and I've just taken up singing this last few years, and this is
Really?
my first sort of venture into songwriting and that sort of thing. So this is all new for me.
And why have you not done it earlier?
Well, I come from a pretty
I'm
musical
not
family.
Not as if you're exactly Methuselah or anything.
Right. I don't know what that means.
Tell her what it means.
But
snakes.
All right. Okay.
That's Medusa.
That's Medusa.
Medusa's this very, very old person. Medusa's the one with the snakes in her head.
Yeah.
For God's sake, Greek
Well,
mythology.
I don't
you
know why.
nothing.
Honestly, I have no idea. I just
You're too busy becoming a quantity surveyor.
Well, that's right, and a bit of a career, and the recession came and just lent my hand to something else. And
all right.
I'm really enjoying it now. It's a fantastic journey for me.
Okay, well, will you sing something for us and then we'll have a wee chat later?
Certainly.
Well, and tell us what it is and tell me a wee bit about it.
The first song we're going to sing is actually one of the covers of the album. It's About You Now. It's an old Sugar Babes song.
All right. Okay.
And we were in Donegal and we were listening to it and took it right back down. And it's actually a really beautiful love song.
Away you go.
So, this is About You Now.
Okay.
It was so easy that night, should have been strong. I lied, nobody gets me like you. Couldn't keep hold of you then. How could I know what you meant? There was nothing to compare to. I know everything changes, all the cities and faces, but I know how I feel about you now. There's a mountain between us, and there's one thing I'm sure of, that I know how I feel about you. Can we bring yesterday back around? 'Cause I know how I feel about you. I was blind, I was wrong, I let you down. But I know how I feel about you. All that it takes, one more chance. Let this last kiss you're lost, give me tonight and I'll show you. I know everything changes, I don't care where it takes us, 'cause I know how I feel about you. Can we bring yesterday back? 'Cause I know how I feel about you. I was blind, I was wrong, I let you down, but I know how I feel about you. Not a day passes by, not a day passes by when I don't think about you. And I know you're the one, and there's no moving on, and I can't be without you. Can we bring yesterday back? 'Cause I know how I feel about you. I was blind, I was wrong, I let you down, but I know how I feel about you. Yes, I know how I feel about you, and I know how I feel about you.
That was very nice.
Thank you.
You have a lovely airy voice.
Thanks very much.
Very light, beautiful. And you've good boys behind you.
Great. I've got the best band in the world.
You have. You
Indeed.
have good guys behind you.
The
Look,
big
he's-
band is with Gerry O'Connor, Liam Bradley as well. So it's great stuff now.
Well, I mean, do you do gigs?
Yes, Gerry, we're off actually on Wednesday over to do the Shetland Festival.
Excellent.
Yeah, so the big band's coming for it as well. So we'll do different types of gigs. Sometimes it's just Gerry and myself, and sometimes it's
What kind of gigs do you do? I mean, do you just do all kinds of anything coming up in the meantime?
festivals and that sort of thing, you know.
Alright.
So we're in the middle of booking a UK tour at the moment as well. So well, everything's on our website, the different gigs we're doing.
Well, you're doing extremely well for somebody who's just decided to start.
Well, we're tentatively venturing out, you know. I've got the best support, you know. I've got the best people around me, so I'm very, very lucky that way, I think.
Well, there's obviously a lot of people out there who really reckon you as being really, really good.
Well, I don't know, fingers crossed.
No, you are. You are. And tell me about the album. Can that be bought, or
Yes.
is it online, or what is
The
it?
album's out now. We have a website, oonagderby.com. The album is now on
No, too quick. Double O.
NAGH DERBY Derby.
Yeah.
.com.
All one word.
Yes.
Lowercase.
That's right.
OONAGHDERBY.com.
Yes, and it's in the shops now as well, and it's up
What's
on
it called again?
Harmony Street.
Harmony Street.
Or as my wee son says, Gerry, Harmony Street. Harmony Street.
Obviously brought up in mansions and
No,
in
he's
Dublin.
It's copying Gerry O'Connor. Harmony Street. And it's on iTunes for download as
As
well.
long as he's not copying Brendan O'Carroll, that's the main thing.
Could be worse.
Do us now, because we're running a wee bit short of time
Sure.
here. Do one of your own if you don't mind.
Yep. We're going to do 6 Sore and Tired here for you. It's more of an upbeat number.
All
This
right.
is about being on the road, Gerry. This is about being in a band and being on the road, and you are sick, sore, and you're tired. So, let's give it a go.
So you think you like rock and roll? Let me tell you what it's really like. Bad food, no sleep, waiting on another flight. Looking at hungover faces of guys that can't tie their laces. You think you like rock and roll? Well, I'm sick, sore, and tired of feeling sick, sore, and tired. And then I'm sick, sore, and tired of missing you. can't stop thinking about you. Strong arm, soft voice, and a kiss that keeps me going. Had enough of hotels that's faceless and all those empty embraces. I think I'm done with everything but you. Well, I'm sick, sore, and tired of feeling sick, sore, and tired. And then I'm sick, sore, and tired of missing you. Things that used to be cool have all lost their lure. Perfect sound, the perfect place, the perfect face, it's yours. Well, I'm sick, sore, and tired of feeling sick, sore, and tired. And then I'm sick, sore, and tired. And I'm sick, sore, and tired of feeling sick, sore, and tired. And then I'm sick, sore, and tired of missing you.
Tired of waking up in the morning feeling sick and tired.
I'm sure you are.
I miss all that.
Being sick and tired?
I used to wake up in the morning feeling sick and tired all the time. You kind of miss it. Because I wake up in the morning now and I feel not too bad.
Is that right?
That's you feel as if you're missing something.
Do you? Come on tour with us then. Come on, you back in the band.
I'm fondling this bass here. There's nothing like there's a bass on the table here, and there's nothing like a feel of a bass like, and I haven't actually fondled one for a long time.
Still have one?
No, it's back bass, isn't it? It's a left-handed bass. Thank God for that, or else I'd be forced to play. Well, but you're singing a song about being on the road, basically.
Yes.
But you haven't really done that.
Not really, no. It's I'm trying to look forward, I suppose. I was just doing different songs when I was writing the album, and a lot of them were my stories and stuff, so I wanted to put a wee bit of fun into it.
Oh no, I'm not saying that you shouldn't write it because you hadn't done it, but what I'm saying is that's all in front of you now.
Well, tell me, is that what it's like?
That's what it's like, yeah. Yeah. But you'll be all right, because women are usually treated fairly well on the road,
Well,
actually.
let's hope
really.
so.
Aren't they?
I'm dreading going over to Shellings because
Chuckling from the band. No, your big problem is going to be where you change.
Where do you change?
Yeah. Actually, you're all right there, love you. I don't worry about it.
I know.
But no, I'd really rather have a little privacy.
Yeah, I have to lose all modesty.
You're all right, love. So we won't look. Anyway, let's not drag a seedy element into this.
No, okay.
So let me just remind you people, your name is Oonagh Derby, OONAGHDERBY, and you've got a website which is oonagderby.com, and your new album which is called Harmony Street, and is very, very good indeed. And thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thanks for having us.
And anything else you want to add to what we've already talked about?
I just want to thank everybody for all the help and support that they've given me.
I think you'll do really well.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. Or else you'll have to go back to quantity surveying.
Which we don't want. Believe me. Me on a building site's not good.
No. Thank you, Cormac Kane and Gerry Thompson and Colin Henry. Nice sound. Especially the double is lovely. It's really good. Thank you very much, Una, for coming on. What are you going to sing for us now?
We're going to sing you out with September, which is, I live in Moira, just behind the park, and I was walking through it and the swallows were flying low. And I had a wee look around me and I thought, well, September's a big change month for the year, but it's also a change in you if you come to an end of a relationship. So you can have change in the year, it's September, but you can have a September moment in your life when you come out of a relationship.
And there's nowhere nicer than Moira this time of year.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Una.
Thanks a lot, Gerry. Find I'm on this road again, wanting warmth, but all in vain. Taking steps I've already tread, I meet this morn with dread. Seems I'm deemed to be alone, facing life on my own, back to making meals for one. I wish this year was done.
wish this year was done. And as I walk here, swallows fly around my knees, and leaves fight hard to stay on trees, and there's a chill upon this breeze. September, my September. This was it, this year was mine. I found you, you were divine. In the spring I watched us grow. I loved you, you know. Summer came, the sunburned high, scorching leaves that would not cry. How I wish I'd forget. I live with this regret. I live with this regret. And as I walk here, swallows fly around my knees, and leaves fight hard to stay on trees, and there's a chill upon this breeze. September, my September. Above me, the birds take to their flight. This kid's school years inside. Dark nights descend with avid delight, but this winter my heart's wrapped up tight. And as I walk here, swallows fly around my knees, and leaves fight hard to stay on trees, and there's a chill upon this breeze. September, my September.
Well, I've done a lot in a short space of time, and I've seen faces that don't know how to smile. People on the ground, they look up at you. It's hard to switch off, but that's what I'm trying to do. 'Cause someone told me the world owes you nothing, and I think it might be true, but I feel something out there. And I wonder what it's like to know there's no one that you can turn to when you need to open up and tell someone. Tell them how you feel. Stand clear of the closing doors, please. That's all they hear ringing in their ears. And some of them say they serve their country. Some of them I wonder where is their family. And someone told me the world owes you nothing. I think it might be true, but I feel something out there. And I wonder what it's like to know there's no one that you can turn to when you need to open up and tell someone. Tell them how you feel. Gets me down when I see you eating something that someone thought was beneath them. You're sitting on the ground with your life's treasures, and people run past you at their leisure. And someone told me the world owes you nothing. I think it might be true, but I feel something out there. And I wonder what it's like to know there's no one that you can turn to when you need to open up and tell someone. Tell them how you feel.
That's John Gribben. That's a song called Closing Doors. I love that. I played that a few times. Sometimes people say I play some of these songs maybe a wee bit too often, and I think you're probably right. But, you know, I think when you come across something that's really, really good and you don't hear it anywhere else, I think it deserves to be played a few times. But you see, you don't know what you're up against. I mean, you don't know what I'm up against. For instance, here's one. Hi, Gerry, could you please play a song called Everything I Know by Paddy McBride for my wife, Leanne. She's a big fan. And then there's another one that says what do you call that song, Everything I Am by Paddy McBride? It's haunting me. And another person says, that song, Everything I Know, was absolutely awful. Worst thing you played in ages. You see, there's two people love it, two people hate it. It's amazing. And other messages here. But yeah, I think it's important to play some of this stuff because you're not going to hear it anywhere else. You don't hear it in downtown. You know, Hugo's not going to play it. You know, there's no tractor on it. And a person's been listening to the programme very carefully and writes to me and says, what's the difference between a briar and a bramble? Thank you very much indeed, obviously, paying attention. And I heard a CD called The Looking Drawer in a mate's house in Belfast, recorded by Baz McSherry. Please play it. Please play a track from Dancing Feet. That's from the George Best musical, which is coming back actually very shortly, and you should go and see it. Please say hello to Mary and Tom in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. They listen to the programme all the time. They can't wait until their cottage is finished here in Northern Ireland and they move over here. Get away from those people in England. Gerry, do you wear pyjama bottoms? I refuse to answer that on the ground that, well, I might find out myself. Here's a song that I play all the time and I make no bones about it. I think it's wonderful. It's called Broken Doll by the Dolly Birds. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. It's available on iTunes, Dollybirds, DOLLYBYRDS. Check it out yourself. This is all we'll have time for today.
You came to me with words of grace and hope, eloquent and true, my heart eloped. You led the line and fed the battle cry. I never even stopped to question why. I took your colors, wrapped around my soul. Then I noticed a dirty gaping hole. Then I saw what you had gone and done. You left me standing here with a smoking gun. Of all the things you could have said, you went and left me here for dead. You left me standing here with a smoking gun. Now your fading beauty's gone away. Mouth wide open,
This is the Dolly Birds, DOLLYBYRDS.
For such painless fall, break me into pieces like a doll. Every move is making sense. You're counting dollars, votes, and cents. You break me into pieces like a doll. All tied up in promises and quotes, turning golden angels into gold.
Thank you to Una Darby, came in today, and the musicians. A lot of positive comments about them. You love them. Also, that's all for me today. Have a nice weekend. I'll be back live on Bank Holiday Monday because there are no bank holidays for the evil. Have a nice time.
It's 12 o'clock. This is Talkback with William Crawley. Our top stories this lunchtime. It's Good Friday, but the talk in Scotland is of the crucifixion of Neil Lennon. Does religion and sport always add up to hatred?